Hello, I'm Reverend Rachel Foster and I'm from Poring Land Church. Today I am going to talk about, or we're going to think about, patience. Now, you'll be pleased to know I'm not going to do the rest of this talking very slowly and leaving great big gaps in between, but it's just to get us thinking about how well can we wait? How long can we wait? There was a man called Simeon in the Bible who waited and waited and waited most of his life for the coming Messiah. And to his great joy, one day in the temple came Mary and Joseph with the baby Jesus. And when he saw Jesus, he recognized that he was the promised Messiah of God. But he'd waited most of his life for that moment. Wow, I wonder what that must have felt like. Must take a lot of patience, I would imagine. So what have you ever had to wait for? What about a special day? What about your birthday maybe? Or Christmas, which we now know is only a few weeks away. When that's coming, you know it's on the horizon. You have to wait for it to come though. What about a special moment? Maybe you're going to be involved in a performance, in a school play, or you play a musical instrument. Or what about waiting to go on a ride in a theme park? Perhaps it's a ride you've always wanted to go on, and maybe it's one of those really big theme parks that have got those long queues, that go in and out and in and out and in and out. That can involve a massive amount of waiting. Maybe you've had to wait for change. Perhaps you've been unwell and you've had to wait until you get better again. What about you want to go out and play with your friends, but the weather is awful and you've got to wait until the rain stops, but you really want to get out there. And sometimes we have to wait for new beginnings. I really enjoy gardening, so I do a lot of growing seeds. And when I put the seed in the soil, I then have to wait until the little shoots appear. Some seeds are great, they come up the next day, but a lot of seeds can take a lot longer. And sadly, some seeds never seem to germinate. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And sometimes those ones don't ever happen. A lot of patience needed. Have you ever seen an egg hatching? You can sometimes see them, I think, on the internet. Watching and waiting for that moment when the first crack appears, and then waiting for the chick to break its way out of the egg. Really exciting. Or maybe you've had to wait for a new baby to be born in your family, and that can seem like a very long wait for something that's going to be so exciting and change your family forever. So how does waiting feel? Well, it can be very frustrating. I wonder if you felt a bit frustrated at the beginning of this when I didn't seem to be getting on with saying anything. It can be very exciting, waiting for that big ride that you've always wanted to go on in the theme park. That also could be a bit scary as well. I feel a bit scared of some rides, and that waiting can make me feel a bit more scared in the waiting for it. I suppose sometimes in school we have to do some waiting, don't we? You might have to wait your turn to use a piece of equipment or to take part in an activity. And perhaps the person who's in front of you already doing the activity or using the equipment is taking their time, taking a bit longer than you would like them to. And of course, it's very important sometimes that we must wait until we get to the end of what our teachers are saying in order to understand all the instructions that we need to do the thing they're going to ask us to do. I know when I was at school, I wasn't always very good at that. I was known as a chatterbox. But it is good to wait, to listen, and to find out what we should be doing. Now, here I have got some traffic lights. Now, of course, you've all seen traffic lights and you know how they work because they control the traffic. Well, the red light, or the red idea in waiting, it helps us to stop. And then we can listen, or we can think. Then we get the red and the amber. And that waiting helps us to get ready. And of course, then comes the green. And all that waiting means that we're prepared for the time to go. If we didn't wait at traffic lights and follow what they're telling us to do, it would actually be really dangerous, wouldn't it? And maybe sometimes not waiting to get the right instructions or waiting and thinking about something could mean that we do something in a not such good way, maybe even a dangerous way. So how important will waiting be for you at school today? Or maybe when you get back home? How good are you at waiting? How much patience do you have? I'm going to invite you now to have a real good think while I just read something to you. And at the end of this, I'm going to say a little prayer. If you would like to make it your prayer, then please join me in the Amen at the end. So let's get thinking. Waiting can seem endless. How much longer, we ask? But the waiting time can be a time to listen and learn. The waiting time can make us more ready to make our turn. Dear God, please help us to remember the importance of waiting today, and may we learn to wait patiently and well. Amen.